What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and today we're taking a look at another LEGO Star Wars set, being the Naboo N-1 Starfighter with Vulture Droid. That's set 7660. It had 280 pieces, 3 minifigs, retailed for $30 US, and it came out in 2008. Now nowadays this set's going for 66 new or 36 used, and I have to say that this is the first good minifig scale Naboo Starfighter. But we're gonna get into its positives and its negatives. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll begin by taking a look at the Vulture Droid. And this is much better than the 1999 one that we got. Very similar to what we've seen back in 2005, and I really like the overall scale of this. It's just a good sized Vulture Droid, and it actually has a number of different little features. So these are all stickers, in case you're wondering. There's no printed pieces on it, but some of the features that it has is back in 2007, spring-loaded shooters were all the rage, or I should say flick-fire missiles. And I'm not a big fan of them, but this is kind of how they kind of worked. So you see that? It's pretty anticlimactic, but I mean, it is what it is. What's interesting about it too is it has some nice printing on the sides, or stickers I should say. And you can actually stand this guy. So this is what it looks like when it's flying. You can also put this together because sometimes the Vulture Droids will stick their wings together when I believe they're trying to go faster, sort of like the X-Wing with its S-folds. Pretty well, continuing that trend. And if you want to stick it in walking mode, well, as I break it off, it is a little fragile, I will say that. You can actually lower this one as well. And now he's walking, but then what you can also do is raise his head. You can even move his head back and forth because it has one of those, it's one of those basically spinny pieces, that's what I always call it, that allows it to do that. And this is what it looks like walking. So I was very impressed with this Vulture Droid. You'd be very hard pressed to improve on it. Really captures the correct look, I feel, and again, I think it scales just amazing. Again, here's a minifigure just in comparison. Pretty well perfect droid in my opinion, or droid Starfighter. Let's now take a look at the N-1 Starfighter. And here we have the Naboo Starfighter. Give you guys a 360 view. It's actually pretty sizable. It's about 1 foot in length or 8 inches in width. For those of you that use meters, it's about 1/3 of a meter in length, or I don't know, 1/6, 1/5 of a meter. And it's very sleek looking. That's what I really appreciate about this one, especially if you compare it against the 1999, is this one does not look clumpy at all. It looks sleek, and I think that's awesome. What's cool about it is it actually has a stand, and it actually gives you some purpose. So if you have a minifig, he's trying to get to the cockpit, you can make him go up the ladder. So it has some playability right there for sure. And this is really awesome about this fighter. I think it's the only N-1 Starfighter that actually has this feature. There's actually a little door here, and you can lower it to lower R2. So they really tried their best to make this like pretty realistic, which I do appreciate. It also has a number of stickers. These are all stickers. There's no printed pieces, but they do add some nice detail to the ship. And having removed the stand, let's give you guys a little bit more view of some of the stickers on it and whatnot. It also has an awesome little feature. Now these are my favorite shooters LEGO's ever made. They're basically these big rubber spring-loaded shooters, and if you push this, they shoot off beautifully. Really hope that LEGO returns to using those, just because I don't really like spring-loaded shooters, flick-fire missiles, but this is the bomb. So let's actually give you a little bit more view of the cockpit. Now how you access Anakin is you literally just remove the window, and there he is. Nothing too crazy. Has a nice little printed piece and an area for him to sit. This is just a very nice looking ship. Very sleek, like we've been saying. Let's now take a look at the minifigures. And here's the 3 minifigures that are included. So you get a Naboo pilot, Anakin Skywalker, along with the original R2-D2. They did not change him 8 years later. It was identical to what we got back in 1999, which is kind of crazy since R2 even nowadays hasn't changed all that much. Give you guys a 360 view of them. Now, none of them have any back torso printing, back face printing, none of that. It was very interesting at this time because it was almost like they switched to tan color, or skin tones I should say, but they were still quite similar to what we got in like the early 2000s. That hadn't changed all that much. If you notice, there's no leg printing, none of that, but they have some pretty nice looking torso printing. Anakin also has those small legs, which I believe were introduced in 2002. The first LEGO Star Wars set had the little legs with Yoda, and then they obviously incorporated that with this Anakin, and I think that's a lot more accurate than just giving him standard legs. I always thought it was odd when the 1999 Anakin was the same height as like Qui-Gon. Doesn't make any sense. The R2-2, nice looking for its time I should say, but I do wish that they would improve it. I think it's well overdue. Give him a third leg and I think that would be just phenomenal. What's also nice about this set is you actually get a cap that you can replace on the Naboo officer if you want to swap out his little pilot helmet and put that on like so. You can also remove Anakin's hair and do the same thing. Again, these minifigs are not the most amazing, but I do like them and I think that they were decent for their time. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. This set had a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, the fact that you got a Naboo Starfighter and a Vulture Droid for only 30 bucks is ridiculous. If you were to get this set nowadays, it'd be worth at least just 30-40 US just for the Naboo Starfighter. And again, the designs on both these is great. The Vulture Droid, I really like it at this scale. It's basically identical to the one that we got in 2005. They just changed the overall color scheme to it to make it, you know, episode 1 appropriate, not episode 3. And I really, really like it. It's been years since we've got the last Vulture Droid, and hopefully LEGO gives us a new one. The one in 2013 or 2014 wasn't bad, but again, I just think it was just a bit too big. And the N-1 Starfighter, again, this is the best one that we got. Not the best, but this was a lot better. It was the first good version of the Naboo Starfighter that we got at minifig scale. The UCS one is obviously really good, except it doesn't fit minifigures. This one did. So because of that, that's why I say it's the first kind of good one basically at minifig scale, if that makes sense. But let me know what you guys think about these ones, if you like them, if you don't, any areas you think they could maybe improve on them. I just think for the time, especially since this came out all the way back in 2007, LEGO did an excellent job at them. You'd be very hard pressed to improve on them, and that's part of the reason why we haven't seen all that much change since 2007 for the N-1 Starfighter. But that pretty well does the video. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future LEGO Star Wars reviews, comparisons that we do. We do one of them every Tuesday, and yeah, they're a lot of fun taking a look at LEGO Star Wars all the way back from 1999 to the present. But yeah, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.